All right, so this is episode 1. This is the flagship. Thanks for joining us on the Adventures in Almost. I'm your MX of Ceremonies, Almost Andrew. I've got Kim joining me, and we've got an audience, which is awesome. This is live studio audience with cars. Social distance, keep it. Episode 1, Adventures in Almost. So I'm going to start off. Who are you?
I'm Kim Katie.
Kim Katie?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you identify Kim Katie?
Oh, well...
Whatever that means to you.
Yeah. I mean, immediately what came to mind, just because we're talking about our kids, I identify as my kid's mom.
Totally.
But I also, that immediately brought me to that realm of, as a new mom, it's also really important that you identify as yourself also, because you have this weird time of your life where suddenly people stop using your name. And
yep.
They are surprised when you tell them what you do for work, or they're surprised when you say you left the kid with their grandma. And so, I identify as a lot of things, but I mostly just identify as me.
Cool. Identify as you?
Yeah.
How do you judge yourself, Kim?
Very mildly.
Nice. That's a good place to be.
I put myself in a warm light as often as I can. And
pretty kind to yourself.
Yeah, I think so. Not always, but
no.
Who is? And you grow that kindness over time. You have to be harsh to yourself in order to learn how to be kind to yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God. Yeah.
I think I try not to judge myself. Sometimes I judge myself for not doing enough, not having enough hobbies, not giving myself enough time. But I think I also really pride myself in being happy and being fun to be around and being nice to talk to and being a good time, and everyone always knows where I am all the time because I yell and I laugh and so I think I judge myself nicely, and I wish others judged themselves nicely too.
Yeah. There might be less grouchy people.
Yeah, exactly.
If that were the case.
Life would be a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think defines you?
I think that happiness and kindness defines me. I think I kind of describe myself as the color yellow, and
Ooh.
yeah, I kind of try to be that exciting. Thanks.
Yeah, totally.
I try to be that exciting, happy aura, and I try to make people's days a little better, and lives, and weeks, and months, and however long I get to be in your life, and so I think that's what I try to be. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's all I have.
Cool. Well, guess what? As an aside, part of the challenge of this, as you might have noticed from listening to my other podcast, Side Note, is at 15 minutes, you never know how long 15 minutes feels.
Should I guess how long this was?
Until you're recording for 15 minutes, because we're going to record for 15 minutes.
I'm guessing.
How far do you think we are?
2 minutes.
3.
Oh,
good job.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So
that's great, because it's always longer. When they tell you to do a 5-minute report in school, and the first time you do it, and your dad's oh, that was 45 seconds, let's go.
Oh,
you're
no.
Fuck, damn it. How do I talk about prairie, little home on the prairie, little home on the prairie, little house on the prairie for 5 minutes?
I know.
I didn't read that.
I didn't
No,
either.
nor did
Actually, I did read Little Women, but I did not read Little House on the Prairie. But I did watch a lot of the shows.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. They were always on reruns.
They were. Yeah, right after school.
Yes, I was just going to say after school.
Little House on the Prairie, Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah. My sister was more into Anne of Green Gables. I don't know. I never liked her. I liked the first movie, but the second movie lost me halfway through.
So... This is interesting.
I never read the books, but my sister did.
I never did either. My niece and nephew are 7 and 8, and they are just now getting into those first chapter books.
Yeah.
And Little House on the Prairie and like the Boxcar Children are those first ones. And Boxcar Children,
I remember Boxcar
I don't think
Children.
I ever read them.
My mom read them too.
They were so dark.
That's so kind.
Yeah.
They were really dark. I mean, it was just like some...
Kids abandoned, living in a box.
Exactly.
But
it was an adventure.
Yeah, they definitely frame it like it's an
and
adventure.
they loved baked beans.
Yeah, and they definitely frame it like as a fun adventure.
Right, exactly.
Like, I kind of was jealous of that when I was a kid. I was like, oh, that sounds awesome.
Right.
I'd live in a boxcar
Exactly.
and, like, put curtains on the window.
Right.
I don't know.
It's
I can't remember. It was a while ago.
It's like Harry Potter when the kids are sent to the to the school in the woods without their parents and
it's so
you
magical.
Still want to go.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'd love to go to
monsters and beasts and a bad man without a nose going after them.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that
that would be. It's actually kind of awkward when you really think about it.
If you break it down.
Maybe
I can ruin all childhood stories.
Yeah.
Let me be your color yellow.
Oh my god, I hear a podcast coming. As the MX of ceremonies, I'm going to bring it back to our 3 questions. No, I love it. No, don't apologize. Unless you, I mean, you're welcome to apologize.
I'm not being a good audience.
No, it's great audience.
It's the best audience.
Participation.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And just so you know, this is all live, so. I'll just bring it back to identity. So you identify as your happiness. It sounds like you don't let your hobbies define you.
Correct.
Your lack of hobbies define you.
That's more correct.
New mom.
That's more no, it was before that.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna let that mask this.
I'll be direct with identity. How about your gender? How does that define you?
I don't think it does. I
How do you
identify
engage?
as
How do you engage with your gender? I guess I should ask that.
I guess I don't. I mean, I identify as female. I was born female, and that's how I identify. And it's not something I have ever, I guess, like, felt the need to explore. I also, though, like, I don't think that I, like, scream feminine, but I don't feel the need to do that. You know, that's interesting. Just because I guess you're a good person to ask. Is that something that you know that you need to explore, or is it something that you just do?
Kim is specifically asking me because I'm guessing, because I identify as transgender, non-binary, they and them pronouns. But this episode's about you.
Oh, gosh. Well, I guess I'm asking a really existential question, too.
I mean, why not?
Do I need to explore myself?
Do you feel like you need to explore yourself? How do you feel like... I mean, how do you feel like you're... I mean, I feel like I already know the answer to this, but how do you feel like your gender defines you? Or society's take on gender defines you?
Okay, that's interesting. Because I don't think it does, and in my house it doesn't. You know, like
totally.
In my life and in the family that I built, it doesn't. My husband and I have a daughter, and we talk about how it is such a good time to be a woman, and how we are so excited for her to. He's a big skateboarder. First thing he did was like start looking for skate shoes for her. Like, he can't wait to take her to the skate park, and he was like, I don't give a fuck if it's a boy or a girl. They're coming to the skate park, and if they hate it, bummer. If they don't, this is great. I finally have a buddy who wants to skate at 10 a.m. on Mondays with me. But, like, so in the life that I've built, being a woman isn't an issue. It doesn't define things. It's not, I don't have expectations with that. However, I was brought up to be very firmly defined by my gender. My mom...
'Twas the era.
Right. Yeah. I don't think my mom was trying to scar me when she would always say, you can't go out alone, Kimberly. People want little blonde girls. Oh. Right?
Well,
horrifying.
I have been on who says similar things.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I don't think she was trying to scar me, but it did put in my head, like, I'm a girl. I'm not as strong. I'm not. And
totally.
However, you know, we all take different paths in our lives. and I took the, like, fuck you path of,
Awesome.
like, I'm gonna be strong, and I'm gonna be independent.
Yeah, good path.
And, yeah, thankfully, you know, because
They're all good paths.
yeah, like, you don't really get to choose your path. I
No.
mean, you do, but you
You
don't.
do, but you don't.
And so, I think I was supposed to be defined by my gender, but my brain didn't allow it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
like that answer, actually.
Yeah. How do you feel like your job defines you?
A lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I've had my job since I was 17. Same store. Different people. Completely different people.
Totally.
But I tell people all the time, like, I was punished for so long for who I was, you know, being loud, wanting to talk to people, being off topic, being passionate, being too excited, being
Totally.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being too much.
Yep.
And now I get paid to do that. And, like, I get paid well to do that. And, like, every 6 months, they're like, hey, you want more money? And I'm like, fuck yeah. I want more money. Sounds good. And so I think my job defines me a lot. But I embrace that, and I am really proud of that. But it's also, my job funds my life. It doesn't, I don't panic about it, and I don't roll around in bed thinking about it. That sounded sexual.
Oh, my job!
Right, my food does stuff to me. Orange chicken, yeah.
Lumber chicken!
It is good chicken.
It's the really good chicken. But I don't lay awake at night rolling around thinking about it.
Oh, then I gotta follow up.
Okay.
What does keep you up at night?
Not much.
Oh, nice.
Not much.
Lucky.
No, I sleep pretty well. I mean, my baby wakes up sometimes. Just want a
As
snug.
they do.
Oh, that's
Good
sweet.
snugs. That's what we say. Good snugs. Give me good snugs.
We say huggies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any guesses as to where we're at now?
Ooh, 9 minutes and 36 seconds.
8 minutes.
No. We're actually at 12 and a half.
Hey!
Look at that.
That's not much. Okay.
Good job.
It's
Go
a lot
team.
easier with 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be really awkward when we do a follow-up asking these exact same questions alone. No, I hope that doesn't happen.
One
Or
on one.
maybe
Do
not.
us alone.
Yeah. Okay, you go to your closet.
Social distancing.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing a really bad job.
Oh, I'm
This
good.
is 6 feet.
I'm doing
Like
very
3
well.
feet.
Okay, I'll move over.
Arms.
Do you have to pee? I was just listening to your other podcast. I know that gets you
Oh
off
my
track.
god, that was terrible.
Yeah,
that was
happens.
awful. And my hands were getting numb.
Yeah.
I was dancing around like an
Yeah.
idiot.
It happens, man.
It does. No, I was about to say, well, that moment counts as a fail in the MX of ceremonies
No.
column. I was going to bring it back to, so you're a mom, you're female, you're Kim, you're loud, you go pretty easy on yourself. You're the color yellow.
I try to be.
Try to be the color
I try
yellow.
to be. I want to be
Almost yellow?
Yeah. I'm almost yellow. You're almost Andrew.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that seems like a good place to end it.
I'll take it.
I've been your MX of ceremonies, almost Andrew. I just interviewed Kim, almost yellow. Thank you, Kim. Any last words?
Have a really good day.
Thank you. Me too. It is really actively night,
Yeah.
I would like to say. Thanks for joining us, Nikki.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yay! And I'm just gonna say that's 15 minutes, so we're not gonna have time for the intro, the outro. I don't remember how it goes. Thanks for joining us for episode 1 of Adventures in Almost. Yes, I've just physically gesticulated. Fuck both of you. I can't talk without my hands. God. Even if I'm alone, I am just gesturing wildly. So you can't see it, but you wish you could. Thank you, and good night.